शुद्ध भक्त चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला भक्त सेवा परम सिद्धि प्रेमलती करमूला माधवती भक्ति जननी यतने पालन कोरी कृष्ण बसती वसती बोली परम आदरे बरी गौर महाराज सब स्थाने कुरल ब्राह्मण रंगे से सब स्थान हेरिबो आमी प्रणयी भक्त संगे मृदंग वाद्य सुनीते मन अवसर सदा जासे गौर विहित कीर्तन सुनी आनंद हृदय नाचे युगल मूर्ति देखिया मोर परम आनंद है प्रसाद सेवा करिते ते होय सकल प्रपंच जय। यदि न गृहे भजन देखी गृहे ते गोलक भाई। चरण सिंधु देखिया गंगा सुख न सीमा पाय। तुलसी देखी जुड़ाए प्राण माधव तो शनि जानी। गौर प्रिय शाक सेवनी जीवन सार्थक मानी। भक्ति विनोद कृष्ण भजने अनुकूल पाए जाहा। प्रति दिवसे परम सुखे स्वीकार करो ताहा। शुद्ध भक्त चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूल। भक्त सेवा परम सिद्धि प्रेमलती कर मूला। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। श्री कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivirajakacharya Ashtodhara Shri Shri Jvan Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Beauty Founder Acharya His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivirajakacharya Ashtodhara Shri Shri Jvan Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रज वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मई जमुना मई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। पतित पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरिवास महामहोत्सव पुण्यतिथि की जय। मोस्ट मर्सीफुल लॉर्ड शिव श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Today being Ekadashi, we are reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamritam. We are reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamritam, Volume 4. In every town and village around the world, it is a topic entitled as Unlimited Opportunity, Limited Time. Before we start reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamritam, I sincerely seek the blessings from His Grace Anandamaya Prabhu, that by His blessings, all of us, we will study Srila Prabhupada Lilamritam and offer our respect to Srila Prabhupada through this wonderful way of studying his pastime and seeking his blessings so that we may implement his teachings in our life. New Vrindavan had no phone and mail had to be fetched by 2-mile walk. In this, Prabhupada said, New Vrindavan is like Vrindavan, India. Both Vrindavanas lacked in modern amenities. This difficulty, however, coupled well with the Vaishnava philosophy that modern amenities were not worth the trouble required to get them. A devotee, accepting whatever nature provides, spends his time and energy in spiritual life. New Vrindavan's only cow was a black and white crossbreed named Kalia, and Prabhupada would drink a little of her milk morning, noon, and night. I haven't tasted milk like this in 65 years, he said. One day he predicted, New Vrindavan would have many cows, and their udders would be so full that the dripping milk would muddy the pastures. Although people in the West were blind to get their great sin of cow slaughter and its grievous karmic reactions, he said New Vrindavan would demonstrate to the world the social, moral, and economic advantages of protecting the cow and utilizing her milk rather than killing her and eating her flesh. Prabhupada wanted the New Vrindavan devotees to build cottages. He wanted many buildings, even if at first they were primitive, and he gave a plan for a simple structure of baked mud. He also wanted a Krishna conscious school, and the country, he said, would be the best place for it. The city is made by man, and the country is made by God. Prabhupada said, paraphrasing the British poet Cowper, the young students should learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, and at the same time, they should become pure devotees. In their play, they would imitate the pastimes of Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends, with one child massaging Krishna, another wrestling with Krishna, just as in the spiritual world. The women in New Vrindavan, Prabhupada said, should care for the children, clean the temple, cook for the deities, and churn butter. He had many plans for New Vrindavan, and only he was giving only idea seeds with few details. You develop it to your heart's content, he told Kirtananda Swami. An ideal Vedic community with the members producing all their own food and necessities was what Prabhupada wanted. Unless the devotees at New Vrindavan could become self-sufficient, he said there was no use in their occupying such a big piece of land. Even before Prabhupada's visit to New Vrindavan, he had requested Kirtananda Swami and Hayagriva to plan for 7 temples on the property. These 7 temples should be named after the major temples of old Vrindavan: Madan Mohana, Govindji, Gopinath, Radha Damodar, Radha Raman, Shyama Sundar, and Radha Gokulananda. Prabhupada said he would personally secure Radha Krishna deities for each temple. It was inevitable that Prabhupada leave New Vrindavan. Letters, letters from London, Los Angeles, and San Francisco compelled him to travel. On the day of his departure, the New Vrindavan devotees teased him, saying he could not go. Kirtananda Swami went so far as to say they would block his way on the road. But Prabhupada corrected him. You can't do that to the spiritual master. Accompanied by Kirtananda Swami and the New Vrindavan devotees, Prabhupada walked along the forest path. Now, New Vrindavan countryside was verdant, the summer air hot and moist. Prabhupada was silent. He had come here to encourage his disciples, and he himself had also become encouraged. Here was simple village life as Krishna himself had lived it, depending on the land and cow. The cow Kalia had given such nice milk. New Vrindavan's cows were not ordinary. They knew that they would not be killed. So far, only a few devotees were here, but by Krishna's grace, more would come. Prabhupada and Kirtananda Swami walked together along the forest path, saying little, but their mutual understanding was deep. Prabhupada had not given him many specific instructions. He a few words while sitting or walking together outdoors, a gesture of facial expression of pleasure or concern. Kirtananda Swami could understand. However, that New Vrindavan was very dear to his spiritual master and should become dear to him also. Prabhupada assured him that because the devotees of New Vrindavan were centered on chanting Hare Krishna, serving the deities, and protecting the cows, Krishna would bless them with success. The community was already successful, and Krishna would continue to protect the devotees against all impediments and difficulties. At the end, the at the end of the 2 mile walk, Prabhupada, surrounded by his followers, stood beside the car that was to take him to the airport of Pittsburgh, from where he would fly to Los Angeles. His suitcase, which had come out on a horse-drawn cart, were loaded into the car's luggage compartment, and Prabhupada got into the car, got in the back seat. Amid cries of Hare Krishna and Prabhupada, the car pulled out onto the country highway. Prabhupada continued chanting Hare Krishna on his beads. So you see here in the last section of this particular, last part of this particular section, Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Sastra Goswami Maharaj writes the wonderful natural scenery, natural beauty of New Vrindavan, how Prabhupada lived there, and how Prabhupada would visualize the things while there in New Vrindavan. He was visualizing 7 temples of Vrindavan over there in New Vrindavan. And he was saying, personally, I will get the deities. That was so dear to him. The Vrindavan and the Vrindavan forest, the deities of Madan Mohan, Govinda, Gopinath, Radharaman, Shyam Sundar, Gokulananda. They are such wonderful deities, as we see in Vaishnava song, Tomar Hudaya Sada Govinda Visram. Srila Prabhupada carrying the deities with them, carrying the Lord in his heart. In fact, many times we heard from Prabhupada disciples, they say that Srila Prabhupada carried Vrindavan. He didn't leave Vrindavan, he carried Vrindavan along with him to the Western countries. And within due course of time, we read that today he established the Vrindavan communities in New Vrindavan farm. And just see Srila Prabhupada's incredible enthusiasm. This enthusiasm is not ordinary enthusiasm. Imagine in the hilltop, even now after 60, 70 years, a few years back when I happened to there, the place is not very conducive to grow the trees. You do see the like floor is like concrete only. It's not really much mud or earth, dust particles are there. Like kind of concrete kind of stuffs. The small stones and pebbles are so much over there. Even now, after these many years, and even now, the road after so much of development, it is still dangerous to drive in the night. Such very narrow roads, and both the side there are deep down. And in that place, I happen to be there in the old Vrindavan farm also, which is even far. So that time there was only one cow, proper named Kalia, because the skin or the complexion of the cow was black and with white stripes. With one cow, Prabhupada was saying that within due course of time, New Vrindavan will full of cows. Not only full of cows, the cows will be so happy. Their udders will fill in such a way, the milk will drip and will moisture the ground. Moist the ground. This was how Srila Prabhupada was seeing the New Vrindavan. He was actually not seeing physically New Vrindavan. He was seeing actually the spiritual world, Vrindavan over there. And he is Vrindavan man. From Vrindavan he was there. So we could see that Srila Prabhupada, through his own life, he has not only experienced but taught all of us how you can imbibe yourself in the Vrindavan consciousness, even though wherever you are. And also, toward the end of this section, we see that Prabhupada would talk little and give only the seeds of instruction, a few words. And his dear disciple Kirtananda Swami and other Hayagriva Prabhu and other devotees, they were able to grasp what he wanted to have it. And what is mentioned over here? Srila Prabhupada's pleasure is their life and soul. And it is mentioned over here, as New Vrindavan is dear to Prabhupada, it should be dear to us. That is their consciousness. That is their aspiration. Even though it might not dear to me at this moment because of the inconveniences we are experiencing, but still I aspire that it should be dear to me because it is dear to my spiritual master. Such a great teaching. And for all time to come, for all spiritual master, from the earlier ages, for everyone, one thing is common and most dear, that is chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada was telling one time that if you sincerely chant the holy name with the two formulas he gave, pronounce distinctly, hear attentively. You don't have to do any special endeavor. Everything will manifest on its own. You just have to focus on the sound vibration of the holy name. And we see toward the end, even though sometimes the disciples were feeling very deeply separated, they're saying, Prabhupada, we cannot allow you to go now. We should over here, we will block your way. So Prabhupada says, you can't do with your spiritual master like this. So dear to his disciple. Teaching just like a father teaches to the children. Sometimes children may do something nutty things, and father says, so that's okay, but you shouldn't do it with the father. That's how Srila Prabhupada to his disciples. And through these pages, we see that the love and the loving reciprocation between the spiritual master and disciples is very clearly manifested over here in these pages of Lilamritam. And that make their disciples to dedicate their life. The compassion of Srila Prabhupada will bring fruit in the tree within the heart of his disciple to dedicate completely for the presence of Srila Prabhupada. Even though it would be difficult, even though it is tough, even though it appeared to be impossible, still they were doing that. And they were aspiring to do that. We'll continue to read next section. Prabhupada had been hearing regularly from his 6 disciples in London. Having little money and living as a separate couple in different parts of the city, they found their greatest inspiration in Prabhupada's letters. They would repeatedly read his instruction and dream of when he would one day visit them in London. Although in San Francisco, Krishna consciousness had been fun for the three couples in England, it was becoming more and more difficult. The devotees, being foreigners, were not allowed to earn a salary, and except for a few contacts, they knew no one. Although unable to live together, they were trying to maintain their moral and Krishna consciousness. Yamuna. I had to move to a Jamaican ghetto, the top floor of one of the buildings. It was awful. Day after day after day, I would sit and listen to a tape of Prabhupada singing. It was a beautiful tape he had just done in Los Angeles. And I would pray to him, please come, Mukunda. Letters, that's what kept us alive. Prabhupada would write and say, I'm coming. 2 or 3 times he wrote to say, I'm coming by March. And we would write back to say that we wanted to get a place first. We really felt it would not it would not be right for him to come unless we had a place first. He wrote a letter to my wife. I was planning to come by March, but your husband is not allowing me. What can I do? The devotees in London had not seen Prabhupada in 4 months, and still there was no date set for his visit. Although they sometimes became discouraged and talked of going back to America, they preserved. Prabhupada had promised he would come, and when they got a temple, and that promise helped them remember that they were personally serving him. They felt that he was doing the work and they were his assistants. His absence was only external. By his instruction, whether written, spoken, or remembered in the heart, he was always with them. He was constantly directing them. While trying out various schemes to popularize Krishna consciousness in London, Shyamasundar arranged a program to which he invited many of London's prominent citizens. About 100 people responded to Syamasundar's formal invitation, one member of parliament, a few government officials, but mostly young people. The devotees served a feast and showed a film of Srila Prabhupada walking by Stowe Lake in Golden Gate Park. Prabhupada had sent a tape recording specifically for the evening, and the devotees highlighted it as the evening's special attraction. Even though they had not had time to hear it in advance. Gurudas started the tape. Suddenly there was Prabhupada's voice. Ladies and gentlemen, please accept my greetings in the happy year of 1969 and blessings of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead, for your kindly participating in this happy meeting of Krishna consciousness. Although Prabhupada had recorded the tape in the quiet of his room in Los Angeles, the devotees were astonished to feel Prabhupada's direct presence, preaching Krishna consciousness to the English. Lord Chaitanya informed us that the absolute supreme personality of Godhead can descend in the transcendental sound vibration, and thus when we chant Hare Krishna mantra offenselessly, we immediately contact Krishna and his internal energy. Thus, we become immediately purified from all dirty things in the heart. The guests sat listening politely as Prabhupada described the soul's travel of transmigrating from body to body and the path of soul's liberation through chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna consciousness was transcendently colorful and full of transcendental pleasure. Chanting could be done anywhere, on the street, in the park, or at home. Prabhupada concluded his talk. But to assemble and sit together, we require a place for congregation. Therefore, a temple of Krishna consciousness movement is required to establish in various centers in the world, irrespective of the particular country's culture, philosophy, and religion. Krishna consciousness is so universal and perfect that it can appeal to everyone, irrespective of his position. Therefore, I fervently appeal to you all present in this meeting to extend your cooperation for successful execution of this great movement. Thanking you once more. There was a pause, and then Prabhupada began playing the harmonium and singing Hare Krishna. Afterward, he again spoke. My disciples in London have very eagerly asked me to visit there, and I am also very anxious to see you all. So, as soon as there is opportunity, I shall go with my Sankirtan party, who are now engaged in Los Angeles, and that will be a great pleasure for you all to meet together. That is all. Only a few weeks after this meeting, the group received their first important publicity, a photo of 6 devotees and little Saraswati with an article by famous columnist article, the Sunday Times. Gurudas was quoted as saying, Hare Krishna is a chant which sets God dancing on your tongue. Try chanting Queen Elizabeth and see the difference. The article described the missionary group from America as very gentle people and a bit unworldly, but not at all ingenious. Ingenuous. Citing their renunciation of illicit sex and intoxication, the article commented, Tame you might think, but they look very well on it. And what's likely to earn them a public in their chanting is their chanting. Within a few days, the same article appeared in San Francisco Chronicle, but the new headline, Krishna chants startled London. Prabhupada was pleased when he saw the headline. Indeed, his Grihastha disciples had succeeded where his sannyasi godbrothers had failed. Although several Prabhupada's scholarly godbrothers had lectured around England over the last 35 years, only one person, an elderly English lady named Elizabeth Bottle, had shown interest. So we do see in this section of the Prabhupada sent his 3 disciples, Grihastha disciples, to London to preach over there. And even though there was great inconvenience, they were striving their best. And not only they are striving their best, we see from the pages of Bhagavatam that when there is the 2 specific things happening, the regular continuous endeavor and waiting for Krishna Kripa, everything get successful. The result become wonderful and aspirations will fulfill. And this is what we learn from the Damodar pastime. Prashamana and Krishna Kripa. And Mother Jashoda succeed to bind Krishna out of in his love. And we see this, that these 3 couples, they were continue to endeavor, even though there are difficulties. Because they are foreigners, they are not allowed to earn money. Imagine 3 households with a young child Saraswati, there is no place to stay, there is no money with them, and they are not allowed to earn. We can't even think about this. After this many of 50 years or so, we can't even think about it. But they did it because they had the unflinching faith and words of Srila Prabhupada. And we do see that even they were not allowed to stay in one place, they were staying different places. And what is the thing which were keeping them united? They were all hearing Prabhupada talk. The talks of Prabhupada is only thing which was nourishing their soul, quenching their thirst, and feeding their soul with the surchargement of Krishna consciousness. And with that, they could ready to do anything and everything. And they were writing letters, and Prabhupada was writing letter back. And they were cherishing newer enlightenment in the letters of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was ready to come, but they said that, Prabhupada, if you come, where you stay? We don't have place for ourselves even. How can we invite? Please wait for some time. Then Prabhupada would write to another disciple saying that, see, your husband is asking me not to come. What can I do? Prabhupada is an expert man. If you see out of these 26 qualities of Vaishnava, one of the called is expert, Daksha. Prabhupada is expert in doing everything in Krishna consciousness. He would like to ignite the fire in the heart of his disciples in a way that they will come forward and dedicate their whole life for Srila Prabhupada mission. And then Prabhupada knows that by doing that, they will be benefited. And the blessings of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur will be showered upon all of them. Mahaprabhu's message will be propagated throughout the world. And we see that here in this place, they were getting such a newer idea. Imagine they had no money. Prabhupada is not even visited there. There is no center. There is no temple. There is no deities. But they arranged a big program. And they had invited big people. And those people are ready to come also. And they could start the program. And Prabhupada was so very special. He recorded this message for them and sent. And they're so confident on Prabhupada, they didn't even see what the message is before playing it. That was their staunch faith on the words and orders of the spiritual master. And because of that faith, they could be able to go beyond what somebody can think of, even contemplate. Beyond imagination. And Prabhupada gave such a wonderful talk, even though he was sitting in his room of his Los Angeles quarter. There he spoke about this. And he could foresee that people are going to come and it's a big program. So he was addressing, ladies and gentlemen, the blessings of Radha and Krishna upon you. He never had seen, and I don't think that time there was this kind of big videos and all. It would be difficult at that time. I don't think they could have sent video to Prabhupada at that time because they had no money even. Only letters they were writing. And Prabhupada could foresee these many people will come, the big dignitaries will come. I should inspiringly speak on them so that they should feel inspired. And Prabhupada was telling that, indirectly telling, come forward and help our movement. In fact, directly he was telling, come forward, help our movement. We would like to have nice centers over here and all of us will benefit. And what is the center point for all of this thing is to chant Hare Krishna. Whether it's a big temple, whether it's a community in New Vrindavan, whether it is the schools and colleges, what he is seeing. And earlier chapter, section, we are seeing that Prabhupada was talking about our young children should come and study mathematics, but they should chant Hare Krishna. So the culmination of everything is to chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada wants to give everything what is needed for everybody, but it should end with chanting the Hare Krishna. Whether it is a young child, whether it is a grown-up man, whether it is an old man, whether it is women. Women are engaged in New Vrindavan with different activities, but ultimately they should cook for the deities and chant Hare Krishna. So everything Srila Prabhupada was seeing, whether in the New Vrindavan community or in London, British community, wherever, he was seeing that how the devotees will come forward and chant Hare Krishna in an appropriate way. By that, the mission of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be completely successful. I think it's all 9:02. Shall we end over here? Maybe we can complete up to this section only, end over here. This last page, this page 25, we'll read up to that. Jamuna had written Prabhupada to find out if they should visit Mistress Bottle. She had received the name Binodabani Dasi. And Prabhupada had replied, the history of this Binodabani Dasi is that she is an old lady and has a house and has hung a sign, Gaudiya Math, but that is all. If they liked, Prabhupada had said, they could pay her a courtesy call and see if she would let them use her place for kirtanas. One of the men had gone to see her at her home several hours out of the city, but behind her closed door she had refused to meet with him unless he brought an introductory letters from Gaudiya Math in New Delhi. Virendavani Dasi was the fruit of 35 years of sannyasis preaching in England, whereas in 4 months, Srila Prabhupada's young American missionaries were startling London. After months of living scattered throughout the city, the devotees met a landlord who allowed them to stay together rent free in a vacant warehouse at Covent Garden. The devotees improvised a temporary temple and soon recruited their first three British devotees. The newcomers at once took the full Krishna consciousness regimen, including the dhoti, shaved head, and loved it. We'll stop here. We concluded today's reading with a wonderful culmination that all these austerities these devotees have been performed in London had at last bought them a wonderful place at that time. It's free from rent, and they could start a small temple. And not only that, there were devotees started coming to temple, and they were liked the attire, liked the lifestyle, and they liked the devotees. That's a great service. Not only great service, it's a great encouragement for themselves. After so many days, there are people, those who are ready to live this lifestyle. Apart from the six people, probably there are the only nine people other than that Mataji, Virendra Devidasi, that total 10 people probably at that time in London who were Krishna consciousness. Such a great success and great encouragement to their heart, and how much Srila Prabhupada would have pleased after hearing it. Unimaginable. So, in gist, what we could see from today's reading is Yasya prasadat bhagat prasado, Yasya aprasadat nagati kutopi. Because Srila Prabhupada was pleased with them, eventually they got a place for to stay, free from rent, considerably less anxiety, and they had the kind of starting center. Not only that, and to encourage them, there are three more personal scheme. It must be sent by Srila Prabhupada. It must be sent by Mustajan Mahaprabhu. Anybody who comes in our life to inspire us, we must understand it is not just because of us. It is because of our spiritual masters' prayers, blessings, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless samarthya upon us. Otherwise, it is impossible. Krishna Sakti Bina Tar Nahi Prayojan. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Lilamritam ki jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bo.